And we're live here on YouTube. I'd like to welcome those listening on in podcast land. And also, my buddy Rich, you're back. We're back in normal circumstances. That's a little weird because it's nice when we're together, but it changes things and it makes it difficult. And it's been like a month since we've done anything like normal. So we're back.
Yeah, thanks for taking the reins of the show last week. So it
I
was
mean, you did 2 weeks ago, and then we kind of made the week between work. But man, it's been a month,
yeah,
bro.
it has kind of been. So yeah, last week it was week one, working night shift to support a project at the main warehouse that I work at for John Deere, and just kind of I needed to spend some time with the family that
No,
after coming off the week. So
totally
and I
get
was
it.
just feeling just tired.
Yeah.
The second week, I was on nights last week too, but having a week to adjust to it felt more right. We had a little bit more of a routine and knowing what to expect, so it was a little easier this past week.
Yeah.
But I'm back on days next week, so looking forward to having the evenings and not feeling like I'm sleeping the day away anymore. So
Okay. So before we get going, I totally forgot where I was, but we'll just.
how was your week? Mine was still a little hectic working the night shift, but I'm glad to be back on first.
So I
How,
was back at work this week, or this week was the first time that the whole team has been back. So getting routines back at work has been a little hectic, but we're getting there. We also have a few other things just going on, and it's crazy. My folks are here because I'm speaking on Sunday about Father's Day and stuff like
mm,
that, and so it's gonna be. It's been a week. It's been a lot, but we're gonna make it, and you know, um, yeah, it's been a lot, but we are finally getting back into routine, and that includes going to community breakfast. So we got to get going with that, Rich. We have NASCAR and a lot of news this week from NASCAR to talk about. We also have the World Cup, and Rich, what else are we going to talk about?
we're going to talk about some Cubs baseball, also a little bit of a discussion on our thoughts of the updated and renovated Wrigleyville, since there was a big gap in our visits to Chicago, as well as the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals are wrapped up,
Yeah,
as well as some news on a stadium here in Davenport, Iowa. All that and more, Mike. But what do we got to do next?
we're going to go ahead and roll the intro. Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich. And we're back. Before we do any of that sports stuff, we got to talk about the real hard hitting reason, the reason you all came here. The poll question, presented as always, or now presented by Irish Route Coffee Company. Check them out online for all your coffee needs. Today is a bourbon coffee from them for me. And Rich, what are you drinking?
I am drinking their Whoopi roast,
Mmm.
which is a Saudi Arabian bean.
Ooh, yummy. So, check them out online for all your coffee needs. They do make them in K cups, which is friggin' awesome. Makes it easy to get and makes it easy to make. And, it's a friend of Rich's. It's a veteran owned company. We love both of those things. And on top of it, it's good coffee. So,
Yep, Route
with that,
Irish, Route Irish roasting.
Route
Check them out.
Irish Roasting. So, let's get into the poll question.
All right, this week's poll question was horse versus flag football. Mike, I went with horse because you only need two people to play horse, and you need a little bit of a bigger group to play flag football.
I love horse. By the way, horse does not just like you can do more than two people,
No,
uh,
yeah, you can do, but
which is
let's
nice. But Horse is great. A horse wins every time for me on this matchup. And by the way, it wins 100% of the time with our entire group, with our fan base, as me, AJ Hendricks, Danielle Hart, Matt Borchers, and you all voted for Horse. Horse will move on over flag football. By the way, Horse is only ranked 20th because we brought it in late. That's on us.
We made a poll. We had forgotten that as a gym activity or just a PE activity. So I think I kind of broke my own little rule of not thinking of horse as a PE activity, but I guess you could break out a game of horse if it was just free play.
Yeah.
Nothing planned. Here's basketballs, make it work. You got an hour.
Which happened a lot more in like junior high and high school than it did in elementary school. But for me, it's just a great sport. So Horse moves on with that, Rich. What's this week's poll question?
Yeah, this week, number 28, softball. Softball's ranked a little bit lower because it was also a late addition to our poll.
Yep.
So we took out another activity that we had originally put in, but we had personally never heard of. But websites said it was a common gym activity. I don't remember what it replaced. And it's going to take on number 5, kickball. So softball versus kickball. That poll is going to go live at 9 o'clock over on the Fans of Balls and Sticks.
Rich,
Facebook
we forgot
page.
something.
What was that?
We totally forgot to put in mat ball.
No, we have mat ball.
Oh, good.
Because that was like, mat ball was like really high up on our, I think it was in the top 4 was mat ball.
Yeah.
That made it.
Okay.
All right, Mike. So check out the poll question over on the Fans of Balls and Sticks Facebook page. You can find it at 9 o'clock today. Mike,
and
do you see what?
Don't forget to follow our sponsor, Route Irish Roasting.
Yes. All right, Mike. Do you see what's coming up next?
Well, last week it was a left turn, but this week I think there's some right turns. So I don't know where it is right away, but we're gonna go with a left turn.
Okay. What's after that, Mike?
Maybe a left turn. It could be a right. I'm not sure.
All right, because we're heading into the NASCAR Corner. The NASCAR Corner is presented by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois, and you can also find them on eBay. Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. So, Mike, last week they were at the Tricky Triangle of Pocono for the Great American Getaway presented by Visit PA. Mike, give us the results.
Well, Rich, your pick of Eric Jones did really well. Picked 6th. By the way, did you see the... We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
My pick of Brad Keselowski finished 38th, which ties us at 10-10 for the season so far. And Rich, we both picked... the winner was Denny Hamlin. Okay.
Third straight win for Denny Hamlin.
So I got to point this out. And there is receipts.
Yep. I saw your screenshot.
Tuesday, I had picked Eric Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I changed it because I agree, we can't pick the same guy. So I changed it. You got him. And you had honors, so it was fair, but I thought I was pulling out a wild card there. And there you go.
No, he's done quite well.
Yeah.
At the Tricky Triangle. So
yeah.
And it worked out. It
worked out great for you, not so well for me. And Brad Keselowski ended up in a really bad, got taken out on a caution that he wasn't involved in, but ended up getting drug into because of running into a car coming down the track on him. Just a terrible situation. And so that was rough. And so, good race, fun race to watch. I think I slept through a third of it, but
I think I slept through all of it. I had the last week's race. I didn't even try to put on the TV or on the radio listening to the audio feed, the radio feed,
Yeah.
through the NASCAR app last week, and then the Pocono race because I got to take a good nap before going to work at 7 o'clock, going for the Sunday shift, and I had put the audio version of the phone on my phone while I was sleeping, but I don't remember any of it.
Yeah,
So
I like I said, I watched it. It was a good race. It was fun. A few weird things there. It is one of those tracks that it is one of my favorite tracks because of how different it is from any other track. The makeup, there's one of the turns is more like a turn from Indy than any other track, and then they have turns that look more like small tracks that NASCAR hasn't run at in 50 to 80 years. So it's just been great to see. It's great to see that is one of those places that they continue to go. And again, I would put that it should be, as much as it's a complete oddball when it comes to NASCAR. To me, it feels like a track they should always go to. I love it. I'm here for it.
yeah, and it is a pretty solid track. It's not one that ever has to worry about it's standing in the schedule
Yeah.
of it getting replaced by a different track.
Yeah.
But this week, Mike, we're going to Naval Base Coronado to the Qualcomm circuit to run the Adderall 250 street race. So this will more than likely be a one-off trip for NASCAR to this temporary street course layout at Naval Station San Diego. I'm looking forward to seeing this race. I'm so glad that I'm not on third shift, so I can stay up and watch this race. I'm interested to see what the circuit looks like, how it looks on TV.
So you haven't checked out any of the results from yesterday? You didn't watch any of that stuff yet?
No, I didn't watch the truck race yesterday.
Bro, the trucks were getting airborne.
Yeah.
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 This is going to be nuts. I think there's going to be some craziness happening.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I've heard about it is I think Dale Jr. on his podcast said that he's worried that you could almost have 5-minute cautions with how sprung out this layout is, where if you throw a caution, you're going to have a very long caution lapse going on.
So that is there is truth to that. However, I would argue you're going to have less laps. Because in theory, you should be like, if there's a bad wreck, not a terrible wreck, but a bad wreck, 2 laps should be, or 3 laps. So minimum laps are going to be 3 laps, right? That's the minimum that they're going to take for a caution. A caution has to be a minimum of 3 laps. You have the first lap to gather everybody up, the second lap for pits, and the third lap's for commitment and getting ready to go green. You might argue 4 if you have lapped traffic. So, okay, 4. Okay, 4 laps. With those 4 laps, we'll say 4. We'll say 4 minimum. I guarantee you, in 4 laps, they can have just about any wreck cleaned up if it takes 2 minutes to get around a track at pit race speed. So, the track is very weird. They go over train tracks.
They go over train tracks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is going to be nuts. I'm very intrigued on how this is going to work.
Yeah, I know that they're using a runway. A jet runway is built into the track. I did not know about the railroad tracks. That's kind of funny. I think do you remember the video game, Mike, Cruising USA?
Yes.
Yeah. So why not have the train? You can't make it a video game to where you could in theory have the train or planes coming in and using the same runway up. You got to dodge the runway. You got to dodge the dodge the fighter jet coming in for a landing and taking off. But that kind of reminds me of it being like a cruising USA type of layout, where you got to not only you're racing, but you got to dodge all the traffic going in and around as well, the non-race traffic.
Yeah, it is gonna be nuts.
A railroad track. I'm sure it's not the raised rails that you're going over. It's the flattened to be the same thing as the.
I don't know.
So yeah, definitely something I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow.
Yeah, that's gonna be like. Yeah, there's
pictures
of guys taking off, like getting airborne in practice.
Yeah, that really makes picking a winner for this race really kind of strange, because it's such a wild card. There's no track history you can look at. You've seen there's cars going airborne because there's just because of the unevenness of the road, the elevations, now railroad tracks that I didn't know about, to where it's that there's a part of me that doesn't want to pick Shane Van Gisbergen, because I can use him next week at the Sonoma Road Course, which there is track history to look at, but Shane did so well at the Chicago Street Race, at that inaugural race, and that being his first time behind a NASCAR, that I'm still going to stick with SVG for my pick to win. Although it's tempting to go with a no-name guy and just hope that he can finish higher than your pick.
I need to check something real quick, because I might change mine up. Because I just realized there's a driver that... he's not on the 36 for 36.
You can still pick him for our show purpose. You talk about the guy that's in the Project 91 car?
I believe that's who I'm talking about. Are we talking about Jimmy Johnson?
No. There's somebody's bringing in. The Project 91 car with Trackhouse is bringing in. I think he was an F1 driver to come in and do the street race for him.
I think Jimmy Johnson's actually.
But yeah, Jimmy Johnson is in the race.
He's
driving his 84.
Yeah.
Your pick with the show does not have to coincide with the 36 for 36 pick.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson's in there.
Because I think Jimmy Johnson, you can easily put Jimmy Johnson into your fantasy lineup, though.
Who is the project?
Project 91 is...
right, what, are they going with number 91? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin McKay. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that guy. He's also Australian, too.
Oh, he's Australian, too? Okay.
I believe so.
He's an F1 driver that they're bringing in the 91 car.
I'm still going to go with Jimmy Johnson.
You're going Jimmy Johnson. All right.
Mostly because Shane Van Gisbergen's going to win by like a half a lap. And so it doesn't even matter who I pick. And... so I might as well pick Jimmy Johnson, baby.
All right. So, Mike, you mentioned that so you can catch that race over on Amazon Prime at 3:00.
Yeah.
So, Mike, next week the NASCAR race goes into their second year of having a in-season challenge, and last year they also released a bracket-style game, where you can fill out an online bracket. But this year they must have listened to us, because I think we were saying why not make this a league thing to where you can, like any other, like the NCAA bracket pool, and make your own pool group, because you can do that this year.
Oh, nice.
So make sure to check out the link in our show, in the show outline, as well as on our Facebook page for a link to join our NASCAR in-season bracket challenge. Fill out the full bracket and see if you can do better than Mike and I. So my bracket's in.
My bracket's in.
All right. See who. So we'll reveal our bracket, our full bracket on next week's show. And Mike, we got some driver news to talk about.
We got lots of drivers news to talk about. So first and foremost, did I get the Chris Buescher signs an extension, and didn't somebody else sign?
No, I'd not heard about someone else signing an extension. But you had originally put that it was Jordan Love signs to the Wood Brothers.
Yeah, Jesse Love.
No. The Packers quarterback will not be going into the NASCAR world. His name is Jesse Love. He's going to be coming up from the Xfinity Series and joining Wood Brothers, which means that Josh Berry does not have a seat.
Oh, did you not know that? He had announced that like a week and a half ago.
I did. I did know that Josh Berry. I just added it to your note about Jesse Love going to Wood Brothers. So Josh Berry does not have a seat next year, a confirmed seat next year. Although I had heard that Legacy Motorsports is going to be fielding a third full-time car. And I think I could have swore I also heard things about how Alex Bowman might be out in the 48 car. So maybe one of those two teams could be a landing spot for Josh Berry. Or there's always the 33 car at RCR, because Austin Hill is filling in for that entry. So there's no guarantee that he'll be back full time with RCR too.
Yeah.
So there's some spots for Josh Berry to go to.
I gotta look, because I thought I saw a second signing this week.
Well, yeah, Josh Berry has been in
no, Chris Buescher is the one. Okay.
Yeah, Josh Berry has been in the seat in the Wood Brothers car for the past 2 years after he took Kevin Harvick's spot for a little while. After he had filled in for Kevin Harvick for a little while.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's accurate. Okay, that's fine. My other NASCAR insider, that's what it was. Okay, so yeah, but those are two huge signings, and that means it's really weird. And this is the hardest part for me for NASCAR, is that we're already mid-season. Like we're still not even. Like, we're just barely halfway through the season.
Yeah, and you know that, I don't have a ride next month. And I mean, even Josh Berry coming out and saying that, well, I'm here to make an announcement that I won't be back at Wood Brothers next year. Like, they've already informed me that they're not going to renew my contract.
Could you imagine how the NFL would go if they, if after... 6 weeks, 8 weeks in the season, they announce, hey, this quarter, if Aaron Rodgers, we'll use Aaron Rodgers, let's say mid-season, Aaron Rodgers says, yeah, I won't be back next year.
Actually, for Aaron Rodgers, that wouldn't be out. That wouldn't be out of.
You're right.
Out of the realm, because
Aaron would
how
do
many
that.
years? How many years has it been? I don't know if I'll be back this
year.
Okay,
but let's say,
you know what? Let's
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. All of a sudden, mid-season says this is going to be it. I'm retiring at the end of the year. I've accomplished everything.
I wouldn't even say no. This is completely different. This isn't retirement, because retirement, that guys do that. That's a normal thing. But if Patrick Mahomes said, "Yeah, so my extension had an option," then they're not renewing me for the rest of my contract. I'm done here in Kansas City.
I'm not coming back to Kansas City, no matter what the offer is. I'm leaving.
Well, no. Josh Berry wasn't. He had just been informed that he wasn't coming back. Like, what would the NFL world do if that happened to Josh Berry, or if that happened to Patrick Mahomes? It's hard to think, because Patrick,
in season, it'd be hard to know, but offseason, there could be teams maneuvering to know that, all right, I'm going to clear enough cap space to make a decent offer to this guy. But I mean, even with NASCAR, you could in theory have Josh Berry saying that, yep, I'm not going to be back at Wood Brothers next year.
I'm gonna
And then
change it up,
before the
Rich.
season ends, oh, I'm going to be piloting the number 48 car next year.
I'm gonna change it up because here's where
where
we're talking.
you're driving.
We're
for
saying
one
Patrick
team.
Mahomes. Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes is not anywhere near being a right analogy. I'm gonna say, let's say week 9,
Mhm.
the Jacoby Brissett says, "Hey, so the Cardinals are not renewing my contract for next year. I'm gonna be a free agent." And then a week later, the Cardinals say, "We've signed Aaron Rodgers to come here next year."
Where he's not the incumbent starting quarterback. Nope, we're not going to be back next year. And oh, by the way, we're signing this guy,
Right.
and he's not going to be here next year. He's going to come. He's coming next year.
Like that's nearly the equivalent of what we have going on right now.
Yeah. Well, in theory, Josh Berry could turn around. He's a free agent driver. He could know where he's going to be sitting and piloting the car, what car next year.
And
Where in your
he
example,
will
you could have
before the end of the year.
You could have Jacoby Brissett in your example say, "Oh, I'm going to be quarterbacking the Cardinals. I know I'm not going to be back next year. The team already told me they're not re-signing me. I'm going to sign with the Kansas City Chiefs next year, or I'm going to sign with their rival, the I'm
San
going to sign with
Diego.
the Rams. I'm going to sign with the Rams next year.
Right. Something like that.
I'm going to sign with them next year. I've already got a contract signed that once free agency hits, I'm signing with them next year.
Right. That's the equivalent of what's happening right now. This, to me, is one of NASCAR's biggest problems. They don't have a no tampering with their stuff. And the other problem is they don't have, because they don't draft people, Jesse Love is just out in the open. By the way, he has a contract. He's still on contract with RCR this year for the
O'Reilly series.
For the O'Reilly series. Like, how does this make sense? He's on contract for another team.
At the lower level, but still another team.
Yeah, but he's still in meetings at that facility. He still walks through that facility and take notes. Like, this year we had a lawsuit about a guy who did something very similar. This is a team member that's not the driver being sued for breach of contract and all this stuff because he switched and blah, blah, blah. And they're saying he stole private information and this, that, and the other. Because it's acceptable. I have a problem with it, but...
Okay, I can see that. So you'd want us to have, during the in-season, you cannot announce signings or know who's going to be replacing you, or...
My argument would be, it should be the day... So give a week after. So the awards are like a week after the championship weekend, right? Generally.
I think they announced the awards during the championship week.
Okay, the week after championship week. So you give a week after the last race of the year. That's it. After that, your signings, all of that stuff can be done. And that's from driver to crew chief to Jackman.
Yeah, I like it. So in theory, in your Josh Berry example, he knows his contract isn't getting picked up.
Right, and he can make that announcement. So that can be made. That announcement can be made. But the announcing that Jesse Love is now on your team, and he still has essentially half a season with RCR. Give it some time, people.
All right. Mike, why don't you take us out on the NASCAR corner
This
as we got to keep the show moving.
this has been the NASCAR Corner, presented as always by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois. Check them out for all your sports memorabilia needs on Fifth Avenue in Moline or on their eBay store. Once again, this is Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. Let's keep making left turns, but this time on the diamond as we go to the Cubs week in review. The Cubs played 2 against San Francisco, 3 against the Rockies, and 1 against the Blue Jays. They won 1 against San Francisco, 2 against the Rockies, and 1 against the Blue Jays. 16, putting a 16 spot on the board.
Yeah, was not expecting that. Mike, you said they get 3 wins. I only said 2. They ended up going 4-2 on the week. Nice to see them winning again.
Yeah.
It still seems like I haven't had a chance to really listen or watch many Cubs games watch, let alone listen to many games this week, these past 2 weeks. So I don't know if I really have an accurate comment to say about what the state of the lineup is looking like. But history was made this week as PCA had a reverse cycle game. Where you had found that he was the first Cub to hit a reverse cycle, but I know for sure he's the 13th Cub to ever hit for the cycle.
13th Cub to ever hit for the cycle, but he hit a reverse cycle, which means he hit a home run, a triple, a double, and finished with a single.
Yep. So a great week for PCA. I think I said it the 2 weeks ago when I was doing the solo show. I've loved that he's in the leadoff spot now instead of hitting lower in the lineup. So it's really been, I think he's really started taking off once they started hitting him leadoff. So I'm glad to see that he's taking off. Now we just need guys like Alex Bregman and Dansby Swanson to get back to putting up the type of offensive offensive numbers that they're typically known for. Because both have been putting up some subpar numbers for them.
So, Rich, I have an idea. I have a thing for you.
Okay.
The Cubs could make history this year, and I think they actually could, especially because we're getting ready for the All-Star breaks coming up here before too terribly long. If everybody gets healthy and we get going again, could the Cubs become only the second team in history to have 3 10-game winning streaks?
They could.
Now, do you know the other team that has the only team ever to have 3 10-game winning streaks in one single season?
Was it one of those? Is it the New York Yankees?
No.
Who is it?
Who's on your hat?
The Chicago Cubs.
The Chicago Cubs of 1906.
Ooh, okay.
The only other team. Well, the only
three
team
10-game winning streaks.
to have 3 10-game winning streaks in one season.
It'd be really cool if they could do it. We'll see if they can keep their winning ways going as they're currently on a 3-game winning streak, aren't they? Because They
won 1 against the final game against San Francisco. They won the first 2 against the Rockies.
Okay. So they dropped the 3rd game of the series to the Rockies.
Yeah,
okay.
They dropped the 3rd game of the series. They were on a 3-game winning streak, and I'm like, let's go, we're back, boys. And I thought, let's go, let's hit that 10 number and make that happen. But so they have 2 more against the Blue Jays, 4 against the Mets in New York, and then 1 in Milwaukee before next Saturday.
All right, Mike. I still got to see some more consistency out of the Cubs, so I'm going to give them 2 games again.
Okay.
I think they could be. While the Blue Jays are playing some subpar baseball, they're still a great team. The Mets, they could be playing down to their competition, and Milwaukee is doing Milwaukee things. And it's a rivalry game, so I'm going to go with 2 games. They got to prove it to me.
I'm going to say between they'll win at least 1 against the Jays. They'll get 2, maybe 3 against the Mets, and I think that Milwaukee game's a toss-up. So and especially because it's in Milwaukee, that's not a home game. Well, it's more of a home game than it used to be, but it's still not a home game for Milwaukee by any stretch of the imagination. I will say 4.
Gotcha. All right, Mike. Due to our time limitations, you've got a breakfast engagement. Let's save our talk on the Wrigleyville experience for next week.
Okay.
All right, Mike.
The Bears. Yep. Let's do the updates. Let's do the 2 updates, and then we'll then do as quick of a hit as we can. We'll do the quick hits because we'll skip the Hammond thing. That again can get pushed down the road because they're still not sure on that one. We were going to talk about the Bears going to Hammond and moving forward and blah blah blah. That's still not set in stone, so we're going to put a pin in that, and we will come back next week when we have a little bit more time. So in the NBA Finals, the Knicks spanked the Spurs 4-1. First time.
I wouldn't say it was a spank. By the series wins, there were a lot of come-from-behind victories by the New York Knicks. So I'd say it was a very resilient team to have so many come-from-behind victories in this series. But the Knicks, series-wise, if you hadn't watched any of the action, which I didn't, and just looked at it, wow, they won the series 4-1.
I watched like half of one game.
Yeah, I can see why I'd say they just spanked them. It's like, no, that they had some good come-from-behind victories, from what I read.
Yeah, and that's accurate. It wasn't a spanking. It was a match. The problem though is that they did do a gentleman's sweep. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's the first time in 53 years that the Knicks have won. Now, part of the problem there is they should have won in the 90s. Like, they had teams that should have won in the 90s. I'm a huge Chicago Bulls fan, especially the 90s Bulls. That's life to me. The Knicks had a team. They were built to win a championship. The problem is you're trying it in an era where Michael Jordan said, nope. And there was only one year that anybody else had an opportunity. And man, did everybody dogfight that one. And it still didn't
the Knicks, I think, the Knicks had a chance and then they ran into Hakeem Olajuwon's Rockets.
Yep.
In those 2 years in between three-peats.
Yeah.
The Knicks made one of those finals and couldn't get the victory.
And so, again, if it wasn't, and again, this is more fuel for my fire. In the LeBron-Michael debate, in that era, in those 9 years, and by the way, you could go in the mid '80s when they were getting to when they were facing Detroit in all those Eastern Conference Finals. You could argue, that decade and a half, almost 2 decades of those two dominant teams, like Michael being involved in that much, more argument for me on why Michael is better than LeBron. But
yeah, could you have plucked LeBron in that era?
Oh, he wouldn't have survived.
He still would have.
There's no way. The way that LeBron falls to the ground so often and cries about it so often, that's never gonna happen. So
yeah.
Okay, let's get into other stuff as we got to talk about Stanley Cup Finals, Rich. The bet that gets lunch. Tell them how we did.
Yeah, the Hurricanes beat the Golden Knights 4-2, getting the Hurricanes, I think, their second title. And things didn't work out too well for the Golden Knights coach. How do you, even as an interim coach, how do you get a team to the finals and then get told that, we're not going to bring you back next year?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Seems odd.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he was essentially brought in maybe a week before the playoffs started, but he still guided your team to the Stanley Cup. You'd think you'd want to keep him around.
Yeah. Then in World Cup news, Rich, your team of Germany is 1-0. They have a game today at 3 p.m. How is my team of Argentina?
Argentina is also 1-0 in group play. Their next matchup is going to be on Monday versus Austria. It's a 12 o'clock game over on the Fox network. They'll be at Jerry World in Dallas.
And then the U.S. I didn't. Oh man, I need to look that up.
U.S. is 2-0. They have advanced to the knockout round, winning their group. Their next match will be against Turkey on Thursday night in L.A.
Oh, okay. If Turkey would have won, I believe if Turkey won, I don't remember how it works exactly, but I think if Turkey wins, the U.S. is guaranteed. If Turkey, no, Paraguay winning guarantees U.S. I believe to win the
I just know you're probably correct. They need to have a result against Turkey and Paraguay to actually win their group.
Well, that game was last night.
Yeah, but with the 2-0 start, I believe after their game against Australia, they were guaranteed a spot in the round of six round of 16.
They are guaranteed the top spot, and they guaranteed win because Paraguay's victory over Turkey guarantees the U.S. is the number one team in Group D.
All right. So real quick, Mike, have you had a chance to watch any World Cup games?
I watched some yesterday.
All right. I had the game on TV. I think I watched the first half of it, but when little Vinny went off the bed to have an afternoon nap, I also took a nap, and when I woke up, the game was over. So I watched a little bit of it.
So the nice thing for this is that the U.S. can now rest a lot of their key role players, a lot of their key guys. They rested Christian Pulisic yesterday. He had some injury stuff, so he needed that. But there's a good possibility that they're going to be able to rest more of their top-level guys, especially guys that got yellow cards in yesterday's match, because yellow cards stack in FIFA. And so if you got a yellow card yesterday and you get a yellow card in the next match, you're automatically suspended for whatever the next game is. Even though the yellow cards reset after group play, the U.S., we would still have one of our... if we get any yellow cards on anybody that had a yellow card yesterday, that person would be ineligible for the next game. So,
all right. So make sure to watch those games over on the Fox family of networks, either on Fox Sports app, Fox, or FS1 or FS2.
Or the Fox One app is great. I get to watch local stuff for free now, so that's awesome. Okay, with that, let's go to our quick hits as Brady Street Stadium has a new name.
It does. It was named for Hall of Famer Roger Craig.
Dang it! It's upstairs. So, guess what? My mom and dad are here for Father's Day weekend, and they brought something that I have. I don't know that anybody else in the world, maybe they do, but for me, it was one of those things that I have that I don't know that a lot of people would know about. I actually have a boarding pass for Roger Craig that I had given him when he boarded. I printed him another one, and I said, hey man, can I trade you for this one? Because this is the one that is officially your boarding pass. So I actually have his boarding pass from him flying from Moline to Chicago. I should have gotten it signed. Honestly, I should have. So I got that this week. This is gonna get done in a way that not just shows off my bourbon, but also I got I got a couple other things that I'm really excited to bring in and get up. I'll tell you about it next week. Okay, with that, Rich, shout outs for the week.
Happy Father's Day to you, Mike.
Sir, may I officially say Happy Father's Day, Rich, as tomorrow is your first Father's Day as a father. That's so exciting.
Yeah, it is. A funny story though along those lines of a Happy Father's Day. Like we were at church last month,
Yeah.
and the church administrator, he had just come down doing announcements. Hey, greet a neighbor. Like that transition time between like announcements to you doing that, and like he came up to me and was like, "Happy Father's Day." It's like in my mind, I'm thinking, no, not really, Scott, but okay, not really.
Oh,
But
last year. Yeah. You told me about that.
Okay, last year. But and then the next week, that's when we found out that we had conceived and we were pregnant. I was talking to Amy. It's like, technically, would
That's
we
true.
have still been? So, yep, it technically was true.
You're right. Last year was your first Father's Day. I
But
forgot
no,
about that. But this is the first Father's Day you knew about.
yeah, first Father's Day that I actually knew about. So we're looking forward to having a nice day. Um, yeah, getting ready to. Yeah, we're gonna try probably watch the NASCAR race, watch the race together, and have some good times. So yeah, but also a happy Father's Day to my father-in-law Ron, as well as my dad Mark. So
Happy Father's Day to Joe, my father, and to my father-in-law Tony, and Rich, to you, and all the other fathers out there listening. Happy Father's Day. But and this is I'll give you get the quick preview of everything. Let's not forget the ultimate Father, as Jesus, as God the Father shares the one and only title that God shares is Father. So it's a huge responsibility to be the Father, but also we need to remember Him on this Father's Day. We appreciate the love and joy that He pours out over us. If you don't know that love and joy, reach out to Rich and I on either of our Facebook pages. We are more than happy to chat with you about it. He loves you more than you will ever know. And He will guide you better than any father could. With that, Rich, go ahead and take us out.
all right, so Mike, go ahead and roll the outro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.